Good evening. We have some potentially disruptive wintry weather over the weekend with snow, ice and freezing rain, of course, just in time to coincide with the start of term next week. I'm sure lots of children are keeping a very close eye on the forecast. More details in just a moment, because for today, many of us have enjoyed absolutely stunning scenes like this. Finally, some crisp winter sunshine. Equally, there were some wintry showers of note across the North Yorkshire moors. And over the coming days, it is going to stay very cold indeed, yes, with the risk of snow and ice. So just to give you a bit of context as to what's going on, we've got these bitterly cold northerly winds coming straight down from the Arctic. And by the weekend, we've got some frontal systems associated with an area of low pressure pushing north and eastwards. And when these two systems collide, there will be a risk of snow. For tonight, though, a risk of ice, particularly the further west you are, but beneath clear skies, it is going to be a very chilly night indeed. Probably the coldest night we've had for some weeks, with lows widely down to around -4 and a widespread frost. So potentially treacherous conditions first thing tomorrow with the ice. More in the way of cloud through the day tomorrow. The cloud thick enough at times, perhaps just for one or two wintry showers. There will be some bright spells, but they're not really going to make much of a dent in the temperature. Another cold day with highs up to around 5 Celsius. And then for tomorrow night, we continue with this really cold northerly flow. Another largely dry night on the whole, but still where the cloud is thick enough, we could just see some wintry flurries here or there. And not quite as cold as tonight, but still lows widely down to around -2 Celsius. So it's on Saturday where things potentially become a lot more interesting. At the moment, and of course, details are changing all the time. I think most of the day on Saturday will be dry and cold with variable amounts of cloud, highs reaching around 3 Celsius. And the current thinking is that it's late on Saturday and overnight and into Sunday that we potentially could see some fairly heavy snowfall as this frontal system collides, as I said, with that really chilly air. So the details are being updated all the time. If you've got any plans to travel this weekend, I suggest you keep an eye on the forecast. We've got a combination of potentially heavy snow, ice and freezing rain. That warning in place until Sunday night. And then into next week, actually, it's going to remain really cold. So yes, a very chilly start to the spring term next week. We're going to hold on to that northerly flow. Hopefully some more bright spells, but a further risk of wintry showers. Bye-bye. Good evening. We've got some potentially very disruptive weather in the forecast over the coming days. A yellow weather warning for ice overnight tonight and an additional weather warning for snow and ice over the course of the weekend. So definitely worth keeping up to date with the forecast. So a bitterly cold night tonight and very chilly first thing tomorrow with the risk of ice. More in the way of cloud through the day tomorrow. Some bright spells and just one or two wintry flurries and just a touch milder compared to today, but still on the cold side, with highs reaching 6 Celsius. It's through the day on Saturday, probably by late afternoon and overnight, we may well see some potentially heavy snowfall. That weather warning in place throughout the day on Sunday as well. And then even into next week, it remains bitterly cold. Good night.